everybody, Mrs. Gambier here. I'm out of the classroom still, as you know, but I thought I would show you a lesson. I looked for a video on YouTube to explain how to make what I wanted to make, but I didn't like anything that they've done, so I'm going to try to do it. Hopefully this will work. I'm going to teach you how to make one of these, which we're going to call a jibber-jabber. I know they've got lots of names, but we're going to call it a jibber-jabber for our purposes here today. And it's going to help us write a fable. Hopefully a unique fable that hasn't been written before, but maybe we might have to use a moral that's been used before because those come up a lot. I think some of you will have made these before, but follow along. Just in your normal A4 paper, you take one corner and you fold it across to the opposite edge. Now this bit you need to be very slow about. You need to take your time with this and make sure that this edge matches up perfectly with this edge. Because what you need to do is create a perfect square. And if you haven't done that, if you haven't taken the time to match that up, the whole thing is going to end up a little bit off. When you've done that, I've just folded it, you're going to take this corner and bring it over to this little bit here. And again, you want to match these sides up as perfectly as you can. Now I'm using my fingernails to push down on the creases. It just makes it easier to work with later. So instead of having to refold it, it just wants to fold on itself. Now what I've got here is a perfect square and an extra bit. So my folding has created a really clear line for where I can trim that off. So you just need to take some scissors and cut that bit off as neatly as you can. And I've got a bit of extra here, so I'm just going to go back through it and trim it very carefully. So easy. Now I've got my perfect square. I've also got a crease, two creases that make an X, which also show me the exact center of this. What I'm going to do is fold every corner right up to, but not over, the center of that paper. So do it with one, do it with two, and as I do this, I'm looking not only here at the center, but back along here, because if the papers overlap each other, it's not going to work. Again, I'm going over the creases with my fingernail, fold it in, check that it's, see that one wanted to overlap. If I did it here, it would overlap and it wouldn't move as easily as it needs to move. So I'm just going to pull it back a little bit and do that. So now what I've got is another square, a smaller square. Just folding those flaps in brings that. I'm going to turn it over and repeat the process. So these corners are now going to go into this center. Again, be careful not to overlap. Make sure your creases are nice and tight. You can show this video again if you need to, pausing it, but I think enough of you will know how to do this. So now I've got one side with 8 little triangles. The flaps come up like that. And the other side has 4 squares. Fold in so you've only got the squares on the outside and just crease that down. Again, it just helps you with the movement later on. Open it up, turn it. So it's like this. I opened it up, turned it 90 degrees, fold it again, and push down that crease. What I've done now you can just slide your thumbs in. Thumb and forefinger from either side, under there. You'll need to, I said open it up, it looks a bit like a bird when I do that, and just open it up and push those creases down. Again, this just makes it so much easier for the movement later. A little bit of bumps, it doesn't really matter. Because what I've got is something that moves really easily. So that's how you make the chatterbox. Next step is making the jibber-jabber. Sorry, I forgot to call it a jibber-jabber. The next is making it into a tool that can... Look at me. Sorry, I just wanted to see you guys. Not that I can see you. But next is making it into a tool that can help you write the fables. So what we're going to do is on those squares, on this side, is we're going to use that for our settings. So you're going to write 4 different settings. I've got a noisy barnyard, a small boat on a lake, And that's just different starters. You can be as creative as you want with that, but do keep in mind that this is a short story, so it's just a fable, and it has to fit in with what you know about fables. You don't have to use the settings you've had before, but make it make sense. Okay? Now down here, I've got, on these triangles, I've put an animal, a different animal for each one. I've got 8 little triangles, so I've got 8 animals, and I've just given them a little bit of a description, very short. So I've got a cunning fox, I've got a sulky dog here, a shy cat, a bossy snail, a grouchy robin, and I've done 8 of those. I've made it colorful just to make it nice. That just makes me happy. You can make it as colorful as you like. And then on the inside I've just numbered 1 to 8. I've done it in order. You don't have to. You can just do it all over, and that's just for the very end to help you. Lastly, you need to write your morals. You should have a good class discussion about what morals would fit. You could have a modern moral for the values that reflect our modern society, or you could have a classic moral, one that fits. Like I've put in, look before you leap. Well, that's a tried and true moral. I've also got never yell at your teacher, which is excellent, I think. A very, very good moral to have. So then we just, when you've got it done, and you won't be able to finish it in one day, there's just not enough time in the lessons, you hand it to someone and you say, pick a setting, and they choose, and they maybe choose a small rowboat on a lake. Open it up, and then you choose your first animal, because you're going to choose 2 animals for your fable, and you choose, my partner has chosen a cunning fox. So I've got a small rowboat on a lake with a cunning fox, and then I need to choose, flip it to the other side, and choose another animal, and we'll choose a busy bee. So on a small rowboat on a lake, I've got a cunning fox and a busy bee. Flip it one more time, and then your partner's going to pick a number. Pick the number, let's say 3, and then you just open up that flap. 3's here, open it up, and it's look before you leap. So that starts to fit together already. You've got a setting, a small rowboat on a lake with a cunning fox and a busy bee, so you can start to picture with that. And the moral is going to be look before you leap. So you now need to write the story, getting them from that small rowboat on a lake to the point where you want to say at the end, you know what, you need to look before you leap. Good luck, and I can't wait to read all of your fables. Talk to you soon. Bye.